Hello and welcome to my presentation on SQL Joins. This will be my teach one for Healthcare Databases 671, Professor Sanjit Avramovic. So let's get right into it. So, definition of the join command. It is used to merge rows from two or more tables based on a related column that the two tables share. So there's four different types of joins we'll be mainly talking about. I'll also talk about the cross join command towards the end. So for this assignment, I made two tables in Excel and saved them as CSVs and imported them to SQL Server Manager. We'll be using those to examine how the different types of joins look. So as you can see, the first table, we have patient ID and age at death. There's a couple of null values. And then the second table, we have patient ID, the diagnosis number, and the description. So first I'm going to talk about inner join. So inner join, this is kind of like a rough estimate of how inner join looks. You have two tables and they are overlapping, joining all values that both tables share. It's probably one of the more frequent join commands that you'll use. So the syntax, you're selecting everything from table A, which is our age at death table. You're joining everything on table B, which is our diagnosis table. And you're joining them on the common variable or the common column patient ID. And so when you do this inner join, it joins on all of the common or all of the common columns that the two tables shares on that patient ID variable, which results in this output, and it includes the null values. So we're leaving out that fifth. If we go back to this example table slide where we can see the our B table, which is the diagnosis and description, we can see that we have a fifth row normally, but because we're joining on only the patient IDs that both tables have, we only get 4 since they only both have 4. Okay, and we're moving on to our left outer join now. So this is kind of what it looks like conceptually. So for the left outer join, it's basically the same syntax. You're really only changing that left join command. Again, you're joining on the patient ID column that they both share, and the output is going to look the same for this as the inner join. It won't always, but just for this example, since you're joining on the left table, because there are only 4 rows in that left table, we're just focusing on that left side and then joining everything onto that left side. So the left table, the age at death table, is the one that determines what we're going to pull from the DX table. So we only have 4. Now we'll move on to the right outer join. So with this one, this is conceptually what it looks like. So you're focusing on table B, and which is your right table, and you're gonna be pulling everything from table B, and then you're pulling the matching values from table A onto table B. So here's the syntax. So select A dot star. So we're pulling everything from table A, pulling everything from table B on the patient ID again. And because it's a right join on table B, which is the diagnosis table, it had that 5th row. So it's going to, even though there is nothing inputted for patient ID and age at death on the table A, on the left table, it still pulls because uh, it's determined by that right table because we're listing that fifth row. And then full outer join is the last main command we'll talk about. So this is joining basically every value, even if there are no values, you're just basically pulling everything from both tables and matching them onto each other on one variable. So select a dot star, b dot star from dbo.age@death, full outer join, dbo.dx be on the patient ID. So this one also looked the same as the previous one. As you can see, they look exactly the same. So you're pulling everything, you're pulling all the 4 columns from the first and the 5 columns from the fourth, and you're the 5 rows from the second table, and you're combining them into this big table that encompasses all of the data in both tables. That's a full outer join. And then I'm briefly just going to talk about cross join. So cross join is another command that joins 2 tables, and it produces a new table, which includes 1 row for each possible pair from the 2 tables. So in other words, it's basically multiplying each row of each table against each other, producing a Cartesian product. And the syntax for the other ones, there is, you can see there, you use the on clause in the other join commands, whereas with the cross join, you're using a where instead. And it is going to, it is multiplying each row of the tables against each other, producing a new, bigger table. So thank you for watching my presentation on joins in SQL.